My son kind of worships the ground I walk on. First grade is like everything to him and needed me to be there to do it. And I was just like, this is why I do this, so that I can do this stuff. So, right. It went great, by the way. I earned all kind of points. He did cry a little bit going in, you know, because we normally walk him. If you guys have kids, you know, you walk them to class in the beginning, but first grade was the first time there was like the choo-choo train where we just got out of the car with the teacher and then just walked, which was like, and he saw the long hallway, and I knew, you could just tell he locked up, but I was able to pick him up from school, and I think doing that helped a lot. So
How was the rest of the week for him?
it was great. Yeah, no, it was great. Loved his teacher. That's huge. Loved his teacher. His best friend, who's my best friend, Ramon, who's part of the group. He hasn't, go figure, my best friend hasn't come to the Tampa location from Miami, but he's the godfather of my son, and his son and my son go to the same, you know, school. They actually got in the same class. So they're right next to each other. Yeah, I couldn't have orchestrated that better. Daughter, great. I mean, she's 5 going on 15. She told me today, straight faced in front of my wife, she goes, "I love Dad more." And I'm like, no. And I'm like, no, because he has to do what I say. I was like, yeah. So it's working out. It's working out. Okay. So today's meetup, we're going to talk about Amazon influencer. I'm going to pull up the exact thing right now, the title. But we're going to talk about the Amazon influencer program, but specifically some Creator Connect, how to get brand deals, how to get, you know, mastering Amazon Creator Connect connections and brand deals. You know what I do now for these titles? For 9 years, I wrote these things, and I'd write a few of them. Now I just write out like a description of what I want, and I put it in ChatGPT, and I'm like, make this intriguing, short, and it saves me so much time. That's why I used to know the titles from memory, and I'm proud to admit that. I know some people are like hiding their copy behind ChatGPT, but I find that 9 years of writing titles, 1,600 events, ChatGPT out the box is better at me than writing titles, by far. And no misspellings, no anything. So mastering Amazon Creator Connections and brand deals, I've made a lot of progress with this. In some areas, I mean, we're starting to have $1,000 days, and I'll elaborate on what that is. So that is, I can see that in 60 to 90 days, we'll be having $1,000 days and doing more, which is mental to me that this is possible. I still highly recommend you do not quit whatever you're doing, whether it's your day job, private label. I mean, just ride this until it lasts. It looks like it's going to last longer than I thought. When I found out about this, I said 18 months. That would be 6 months from now. With Temu and China D2C and all these other things coming into play, Amazon's kind of stepping in the gas on this. So we could easily have at least another 18 months, 2 years of this. So I've never seen anything like it. And if I wasn't doing it myself, I would just call BS on it. But I'll share a bunch of this stuff with you. I'm also going to share, you know what, I'll share this first part out the gate on a way I found to just rapidly grow the money you're making in the Amazon Influencer Program. I may have shared it with one of you after last month's meetup, but some of my friends in the Miami meetup pulled me to the side, and I felt like they had a point, and they said it was very off-brand of me to share it. So I kind of took their advice and held back. Did a little soul searching, but decided to just say it and preface it. But and what it is I don't come here and tell you guys any gray hat stuff. And if I'm unsure if it's white hat or, by the way, black hat is illegal or definitely against terms of service. White hat is to the letter of Amazon's terms of service. You should operate in the gray, like, 'cause you should be pushing limits as a business. That's my opinion. You shouldn't be black hat. So I'll say, I'm not saying I've never done anything black hat in my business. You know, God knows I've gotten frustrated and done what felt like I did what I needed to do, but that's not how I operate, and I definitely don't come in here sharing that kind of stuff to jeopardize anything in your guys' businesses. But I discovered something that is definitely a deep gray, and with the Amazon Influencer Program. And everyone, when you hear it, you're going to know it's deep gray. And everyone's like, Carlos, you only share white hat stuff. If you get up here saying this is so off-brand. And they had a point. But the other thing is, I try to get up here and tell you, especially if you're starting or if you're trying to like reverse the profit compression that's going on in your business right now, I try to like put myself in your shoes and be like, what would I do if I was in that situation when I was starting? And I was a lot more aggressive in certain areas than I am now with a big team. So I was like, I'm going to share it, and you guys can do what you want with it. But obviously, since I'm doing it in the group, I had to give it an acronym. I'm calling it TIPS, but it's Tactical Influencer Product Sourcing. I loved it. Again, ChatGPT, I was like, this is the thing that I'm doing. Can you give it to me in an acronym that sounds like a word? They did it, thankfully. But what that means is you understand that, if not, this will be a primer before we get into today's topic, is you understand that if you review a product, do a little video review product, and you post it on Amazon, and that listing does not have a video on it already, it's not going to get posted. You're not going to make it. The listing has to be unlocked. Everybody with me? If you don't get it, tell me, because I want everyone to ride with me through this. The listing has to be unlocked. If the listing does have a video on it and it is unlocked, there's 5 top placements that you could get for your influencer video to show up. And that is when you're looking at a listing and there's a video thumbnail, you click on it, you're going to see the brand videos, which could be 1 to a few. Then you see 5 slots, if they're full, of Amazon influencer videos. And then you see some product review videos that are beneath that, okay? If all 5 of those slots are full, the likelihood of you making meaningful money on that product is very slim, right? Not impossible, but it's very slim. Now, the holy grail here is you have a product in your house, it's getting a lot of sales per month, there's a video on the listing, which means it's unlocked, and it has no influencer reviews. That's the holy grail, because that means if you put one, there is a percentage of those buyers that are going to look at that video of yours. I'm finding it close to 2%. About 2% of those people are going to look at those videos, and you make a commission off that. So that's holy grail, and you have no competition. You're not competing with a different person's title, their thumbnail, nothing. So what if there was a way? And then, you know, icing on top is it's a high-priced item that's in a 4% commission range, like luxury beauty or furniture or like something like that, versus a toy that costs $10 and you get 1.5% on it. Okay. What if there was a way that you could, you know, intentionally find those holy grails? There is. And how that is done is you can either manually search on Amazon, right? Which is very time consuming. Or you can manually search on Amazon but have a tool installed on your computer, a Chrome extension. I really don't care which one you use, to be honest, but there's, I still call it Spies On, but I think it's called IPX right now. Spies On, Lowest Hanging Fruit, Fluencer Fruit, and I think there's a few others, but like, I really don't care which one you use. I just want you to be able to see quickly, without clicking into a listing and counting the videos, if this listing has openings for an influencer video, usually indicated by a green box, and that there's hopefully none or only one, right? Quickly. When you do that, you can also use a feature that's on Amazon that almost no one uses, because most of us don't go on Amazon and search for coffee mug and then go down here and say, show me only the coffee mugs that are over $800. Anybody shop like that? Right. So you want to see the best sellers at the best price. But if you wanted to make the highest commissions off products, and you also wanted to see the ones that sold the most for the highest dollar amount and that were unlocked, you would use the slider that's on the left-hand column of Amazon and slide to a higher range. Now, let's say it gives you the range of 0 to 5,000. If you go to 5,000, it's going to show you the products, the few of them that are in the 5,000 range, but those also probably have very low search volume. They're selling very few. So if it sells 20 per month, great, but remember, you're the only one on it, but you're getting a 2% conversion on that. You might convert once every 3 months. Some exceptions for a very complicated product that people probably have a higher likelihood of checking out the video on this thing. I like to see something like if they give you a slider that gives you 3,000, I think you want to be like in the 1,000 to 1,500. I would even check out the 500s. Just don't keep it as cheapest product, right? Then what you do is you just pop over to, you grab the product, you look at it, you see that it doesn't have like a Chinese brand name, get the brand name, and just search for it and put near me on Google. Like you could get a VA to do this. A quick loom video, you have a VA do this. So it's available in Walmart. Think Walmart, Lowe's, Best Buy, Home Depot, Harbor Freight, Ace Hardware, True Value, all these stores have a 30, 60, 90-day return policy. Like no questions asked, return policy. So I spoke to somebody who was doing this, and I was like, there's no way that works. And spoke to some people in the group, and they're like, a few of them said, I've actually done that a few times. And I was like, why am I grabbing these random toys from around my house, you know, or waiting on something that comes in from a Chinese factory so that I can make 2% on $30 when I could just rapidly grow my commissions by doing this. Now, is the reviewing it and returning it in the spirit of the program? I don't think so. Is that how real influencers operate in the real world? Yes. That's what they do. So you could be a pure influencer, or you could be a very rich influencer. Your choice. I'm not judging. Full transparency, we did it across like 6 products, because I don't want to get up here and tell you something that might not work. We did it, and on our other account, on our second influencer account that has, as of right now, less than 50 videos on it, and in our main one that has 580 videos on it and is doing about $3,000 a month in commissions, this one is almost doing $1,000 by itself, and only a handful of them come from the store. So anybody followed me on what I was saying? We're not going to spend the whole session today talking about it, but if you really want to ramp this up and you want to pay off a credit card, you want to get extra money for your pay-per-click advertising, you want to quit that, you just want to get there quicker, I recommend doing it. I would do it if I was just starting. How about that? Okay, enough about that. Let's see, I made some notes here so that because there's a lot to share.
Only question with that.
Absolutely.
How would you find that perfect product? Because I mean, with the extensions, you cannot find it. You will have to be clicking.
No, you would go to Amazon. You would search for, how about this? Search for, do you have your laptop with you?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Now I wish I had this connected just for this one thing, but I feel like I could walk through this. Go on Amazon, search for electric scooter. It's going to show you probably the cheapest, which is usually the cheapest, best-selling scooters that are out there. Then go to the bottom, go to the column on the left side that has all these filters, you know, filter by star rating, filter by country, you know, filter by all these different things, fulfillment method. Just go to the slider that's there by price. It says 0, and for scooters it's going to say $8.
They're normally the best selling. So
Yeah, but you do the best selling at the lowest price. Those are the ones that have the most videos.
The best selling at the best option for the best seller one.
Right, but the best seller for a given keyword is going to have the most competitors already adding influencer videos on there. Think about it. Which one's going to have more influencer videos on? The product that costs $100 or the product that costs $4,000? Right. So the slider is just showing you another option that you can quickly look at on your screen, that you can see the green, yellow, and red boxes of products that fit the criteria or not. That's step one. That's really fast. You get a visual. I see a green one. It's called, the brand's name is YIKNEG21, Chinese brand. Like, chances of that being in Lowe's, at my local Lowe's, slim and none. If I see what looks like a phonetically English name as the brand, I'm like, okay, copy, other tab in Google, this, near me, you know, title of the, pieces of the title of the product, the X brand scooter, turbo boost, you know, near me, and then I see it. In most cases when you do that, you're going to find it. If I see the only options are AliExpress, Taobao, and like all these other things, I pass. Just next one. Remember, you don't need to do a lot of these. You only need a handful, and it's going to make a significant difference. I mean, some of these scooters are, you know, we'll sell one a day and make $60 commission on each one. Like, you know, like, so what is that? That's $1,800 a month, right? And you did one trip to Best Buy. You know what I mean? I assure you that when you launch a private label, you will not be doing that in the first month. So that's, is it 2 buttons, click and go? No, you got to do some bouncing back and forth. If you wanted to do this with even a little bit of regularity and you felt like that amount of work was too much, I'd create a Loom video, pop over on Fiverr, share the criteria in a Loom video, get somebody that does basic data entry, because that's what it is at the end of the day. Some basic data entry, and have them fill a Google Sheet for you so you have a buy list in the morning when you wake up. Like, have them fill out, I don't know, 50 to 100, and you're set back $15, which you make in the first day of commission. I mean, if your day was just so slammed, that's what I would do, which I really don't think it is. It just sounds, if anything, too good to be true. Again, we did it a few times just to prove it. It completely, the other way to do this is if you're already in a store. So my wife and I recently went to get a new air fryer, and one of our number one bestsellers in the Amazon Influencer Program is an air fryer. Like, I think we make like $8 a day since the beginning of this thing on a freaking air fryer. It's the greatest ROI on an air fryer I've ever had in my life. And we went to get a new air fryer for use, not to review. And while we were there, we just couldn't help to notice like these specialized vacuums and all this other stuff. And I was like, I'd never buy this, but would somebody? So you just glance at this thing on Amazon and you see the green box. It just almost becomes addictive. But again, you make that judgment call with, you know, what goals you want to hit and where you're at and if that's worth your time. Beyond that, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that in the Amazon Influencer Program. It's just something I recently discovered that some of you might think is extremely obvious, and I wanted to share it. If you're trying to ramp this up really fast, I'd frickin' do it if I was starting. Okay? You guys aren't going to look at me different now? Story some of you might not have heard, though, and then I'll move on, is I recently, not too recently, bought the Vision Pros, the Apple Vision Pros, which, by the way, if you've ever watched Iron Man, you now believe that this can happen. Like, the whole, like, manipulating things and, like, objects in the air, it's freaking amazing. But they're not cheap. So while I'm buying it, I see a line of people returning their Vision Pros. And I was like, buddy, tell me, like, you know, I'm like Team Apple. I'm buying these things. I know it's first generation, but just give me a heads up. Like, what should I be looking for here that I'm not going to like? If you make me come back and stand in that line, like, I'll go Samsung. You know what I mean? Like I don't like doing this whole standing in line return policy stuff. And he said, no, those are the influencers. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, they come in, they buy it, they review. Not Amazon influencers. These are people that are these techie influencers on YouTube that do these breakdowns of these products. And it just, again, I'm not an influencer like that. So like, I was like, oh, this is what real influencers do, you know? And all these people getting the newest tools, not all of those people have the brand sending them those things for free. And they're also not coming out of pocket for those things. They're buying and returning them. I don't know, it was an eye-opening experience for me. And it also made me feel a little less guilty of like this Amazon influencer arbitrage scenario that we're talking about. Okay, so some big takeaways in the Amazon Influencer Program since the last time I was here and we talked about it. One of them is, first the breakdown of where I'm at right now with the program, revenue-wise. And it's not meant to brag. I think you're going to be a little shocked by it. No more shocked than I am. Every day I wake up and I'm like, okay, the thing's going to end now. But it doesn't. So we're still at about $3,000 in commission per month. I think we'll do $2,800 this month in commissions from the Amazon Influencer Program. Not a shabby number for something that We upload, we meaning my wife 99% of the time, upload 1 to 4 product review videos per week. We're not treating this even like a business because I have my businesses. She has the YouTube channel with the kids. She has 2 kids that she's spending most of the time like doing the work on, which is really hard. We don't have the time to like put 20, 30 hours into this. But with that few videos up across the year, to do about 3,000 in commissions per month is just mind-boggling. We're doing about 4,000, 4,100, so more than the actual commissions on brands that reach out to us and say, we'd like you to review our video, review our product, and post it on the Amazon Influencer Program, or create a video so that we can add it to our website. A lot more people not wanting it on the Amazon Influencer Program. They just want it as like user-generated content.
Do they pay? I mean, do they pay you per content, or they do affiliates? I mean,
So we tell them now, we send them a link to our Fiverr gig for the Amazon Influencer Program. Nobody buys it. We price it intentionally at like $120 for the review. We want to be at $50. We send that to them, but they get to see this professional page that they can shop when they want. They immediately negotiate. Like there's no like giving a price to somebody in China and they just pay. They immediately negotiate. We settle on the 50, which is what we wanted the whole time.
so they pay you per content. But
Per video.
per,
And that amount, it's $50. If it's complicated, 75 to 100. If our kids are in it, it's more. If we're in it, sometimes we'll pay 25 to 50 more, and we'll let them keep the rights. Or we'll give them the rights. If our kids are in it, they just won't get the rights for no matter what the amount of money is. So that's kind of like our loose rules for it. But that's at about $4,200 a month. So $1,200 more than what we're making on the actual commission. And when we started this, that was the main way you made money. So we're at $7,000 a month, and this is almost all profit. And the reason I say almost all is we haven't taken the time to figure out like what is our time worth and like backed it out of that, but it's very minimal time that's being involved in this. This is the one that is just shocking to me, this next number. And I checked it. If any of you, you went to our Miami location for the Fluencer Fruit. Did you see all the boxes and everything that was around and the things that were being resold? Okay. The Miami location is full of products, right? Almost overrun. And all day long, mind you, I'm working from that location. You might not have a location to work out of, but you could figure it out. All day long, the products that these brands are selling us, and that we're now proactively reaching out to brands, which is going to be the main topic of what we talk about today. We can't just keep them in the house. We either donate them, throw them away, or, go figure, resell them. So we listed them on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. The trailing 30 days, does anyone want to take a guess at what we've done on the trailing 30 days in the reselling of products?
10 grand?
Close. A little over 12. And we're getting close. We're starting to see some $1,000 days. That's stupid. And it's stupid, really it is. And some of these things most of these things that we're selling, you can't even pronounce the brand name, right? You've never heard of them. This isn't Fisher Price. This isn't like anything you've heard of. It's, sink, set, hot water knob, cold water knob, and some gibberish. But we're reselling them, and we're just marking them at like 50 to 60% down what they're sold for. We're posting them, and it's flying on Marketplace and OfferUp. So much so that we're thinking of just hiring someone to deal with that because it's an interruption through the day. But if I was in a different stage of my business, I really wouldn't see it as an interruption. This would be a phenomenal thing to be able to make in excess of $12,000 a month. That's clean. There's no cost of goods there. Like those were.
Shipping those things?
No, handoff.
Oh, really? It's all local, right?
Handoff, yes. It's all local. You could do the shipping option. We're not doing it.
Which was just more money because you could sell to large.
Sure,
And
but
it's also the
totally could. Wife doesn't want people coming to the house, I get it. I really don't want people coming to the house either. You could do this from a Starbucks. I just happen to have, you know, Miami location of this that I would work out of, and my wife handles currently the messaging these people. I'm going to be honest. This is not anywhere near our largest revenue source of things we do to make business, but I'm having a blast. This is so fun. Like, when's the last time you sold products at scale that had no cost of goods? Like, it's just amazing. So you add this up, 12, 4, 2, 3, 7. We're almost at 20, almost. We haven't officially done it, but we're almost at $20,000 a month from this program, right? And the majority of it's not even the commissions. So if you're looking at your commissions and you're like, my numbers don't look like the numbers that everybody else is talking about, and I'm putting in the work. Well, you now have the tips strategy you can add in and understand that these products that these brands are reaching out to, and you're thinking, maybe I don't do it. Get the product and list it for resale. Like, that's where the money's at on the resale. Everybody with me? So any questions on that so far? None? Okay. You think you know what, you know how much it costs to have a marketplace account and an OfferUp account too, by the way?
0.
My favorite number. 0. It costs 0. You know what commissions they take when somebody walks in and hands you $100 and you hand them a product? 0. No FBA fees. I'm not running PPC. I'm not doing any of that.
Nice margins.
It's amazing margins. Something you will never see with Amazon private label. And I love private label, by the way, just in case you guys are the first time meeting me, but I just want everybody to take advantage of this, honestly, and like ride it until it's not a thing anymore, and turn it in, get out of debt. You know, PPC is going wild, get wild with it. You know how creative you could get with PPC when you're playing with the house's money, you know? Just maximize this. Start the brand you wanted to do. Open the wholesale accounts, like whatever it is, take advantage of it. All right. So, brand deals. Well, Creator Connect. When I announced this meetup, Creator Connect was a lot more top of mind for me than what I'm going to call brand deals, because it's kind of the same thing, but I'm giving them different names, and you'll see the difference in a second. But I'm much more excited about brand deals now than I am Creator Connect, and I think that's going to continue, especially since Creator Connect now should be open to everyone. Like, everyone should have received, you know, the invite now from Amazon to get in it as of like 2 days ago. If you haven't, just contact Amazon and they'll give it to you, because now they've opened it up for everyone. Like, they shared that. But the difference here is with Creator Connect, you go on to Creator Connect and you see what all these brands are willing to give you by way of commission in exchange for traffic and sales that you get for sales of that product. Almost all of them also say product not included. Like, you know, if you happen to have this product, which is important, because if you already have this product and have already reviewed it, you could just link to it. Like, even if you had listed it in the Amazon Influencer Program, you could go back and link to it, right? And take advantage of those commissions. But they all say that they're not giving up the product. If you email them and say, can you give me the product? Some of them actually still say yes, right? Some of them will. That is a very weak pitch. And make no mistake, that's what you're doing in that scenario. You're pitching yourself. Who here has their own brand, right? You have your own brand, okay. If somebody reaches out to you and says, give me a product for free, I'll review it. Are you motivated? You know what I mean? I feel like there's a special, I get so much of that for my stuff. Like, I just feel like there's a special place in hell for those people. Like, it aggravates me to no end, some of the stuff I get. But let's say that you have let's say you sell, it's not a good product, but let's say you sell temporary princess tattoos, right? You have a temporary tattoo for kids business. That's what you decided to get into. You have horrible margins, but whatever. And you decide you're going to sell this. Who's your client? Parents, right? Because the kids aren't buying them. But if somebody reaches out to you now and gives you a nice written, which there's no excuse for not written stuff. There's no excuse for language barrier. ChatGPT is a thing. Like, there's no excuses anymore for bad pitches, right? If somebody writes you something and lets you know who they are, something about their kids, why they think it would be good for your brand. Like, I not only do I have kids, but I have girls, right? And here's a link to our insert asset. We're going to get to assets in a second. Insert asset. For us, it's a kids YouTube channel, but it can also be pictures of them at the park. Some pictures on social media where, well, who doesn't post usually their kids on social media? Some pictures of our kids actually playing on social media and what our stuff looks like. I call all these things assets. And then you pitch it to them in the form of a nice little link for them to look at. Total change. As a brand, I don't get many of those. I get the garbage stuff, right? But when I do see one that makes sense, I want to act on it. You seem like you understand who my avatar is. You've taken the time to tell me why this makes sense. I'm like, well, if this doesn't make sense in the Amazon influencer program, I'd like to use this kind of user-generated content in my email. I can use this all over. I can use it as a post on Amazon. I can put it in a montage with a whole bunch of other guys doing it and use it as a video ad on Amazon. There's so many things I can do with that asset once I have it. Let's do business. I'll send you the sticker. So if you pitch yourself correctly and you leverage your assets on Creator Connect, there is no reason at all that you shouldn't get yeses and free products sent to you. Like, you just really are not trying very hard to do it. If you're in a position that you're like, I'm getting a bunch of no's. Assets. A friend of mine, hopefully he's listening. If he is, hopefully Danon can tell me. But a friend of mine, Tom, who's also really deep in the Amazon influencer program. Last update, and again, if you guys confide something in me, I wouldn't just get on air. I wouldn't be on the stream sharing this. He's totally okay with the sharing. That's the only reason I'm doing it. Just broke the 1,600 video review mark. The guy is a beast, but he just broke 1,600 videos on Amazon. On the commission side, remember I told you my smallest number is the commissions. Hovering, you hear me say 3.2, 2.8, 3. I'm just going to say 3. But at the 3,000 mark, he blasts past 10K on that number every month. Right? Welcome, guys. Sit wherever. Yeah. I like the hat. MDS. Welcome. So he blasts past that number every month. He's got a backyard that looks like something out of a magazine. Really, I mean, it's breathtaking. So when he sees these people with these like robot pool pumps or pool cleaners that are like thousands of dollars, he could just reach out and say, send me a free one, which I think he did in the beginning, and he did one of these weak pitches when he first got the account. They told him no. I can't recall if he did it on his own or he came back to the group and I shared a version of this. He went back, sent a link, showed a picture of his yard. This brand recognized, wow, we normally pay to rent out a house to get shots like this, and sent him the freaking thing, which, by the way, he resold for over $500. So that pool for him is an asset. His backyard is an asset. If you have a garage, that's an asset. You have kids, I hate to say it, but they're assets. You got a certain type of car, a certain type of truck, a bike, a bicycle, a balcony. Do you garden? Anything you could possibly think of are assets. You got a mango tree. Like, you have tree products, like whatever you got going on. Those are all assets, and there's products that people sell. Brands create products around that. Do you have a lot of like carpenter bees or ants around your house? That's a freaking asset. There's products that you want to be able to show a carpenter. You know how hard it would be for me to find a carpenter ant? To shoot a video? And you got these things running around your house? I mean, whatever you have is a freaking asset. Just start seeing them as assets, you know? Those are assets. So you now know when you, did I hit a nerve there? Carpenter bees, carpenter? Oh, you never ends. You know, we had such a bad, we had to redo, we needed to take the roof off anyway. We redid the roof, and I think like the mecca of carpenter ants was living in our roof. Like when it rained, our ceiling, our popcorn ceiling would just get covered like something out of Twilight Zone. It was horrible. It was scary, but gone, thankfully. But yet, all these are assets. You need to think about what those assets are. And when you're on Creator Connect, if you want to get more yeses of people, they want to say yes. They set up the account. If you want to get more of those yeses, just make a list of what your assets are and reach out to them. I got kids and a YouTube channel. I get no no's when I'm reaching out about a toy or a kid product. None. I don't have a pool. It's a much harder thing to do right there. However, that did not stop one creative person in our Miami group. He decided, if you frame the picture in the video right, there's no difference between an amazing looking pool and a public pool, right? So he gets a lot of pool products that he takes in the public pool. And when I spoke to him once, he's like, some of the brands actually kind of noticed, they called me out on it, and they don't want to send me anymore. So what does he do now? He takes a unique type of shot. Instead of being above your pool, looking at your beautiful backyard with your pool robot inside of there, he gets underwater with a GoPro. You can't tell you're in a public pool if you're underwater with a GoPro, and nobody else is taking cool underwater shots. So he's doing unique stuff, and he's just getting creative with his assets. Believe it or not, people have beach products. They don't expect you to own a beach, right? Just get creative with this. Like make it want to work instead of finding excuses why it won't. Why my computer keeps shutting down? Okay. All right. Let's see. What did I put here? Okay. The way to get brands to say yes, and this applies to Creator Connect, but it's going to apply a lot more when we talk about what I'm calling brand deals, and that's you proactively reaching out to brands. The way you're getting them is, one is relationships, and that you might not be able to control that very much. And think about who you're related to, who your friends are, and who they work on. If you happen to, you'd be surprised how many people I think about, and they're like, yeah, my cousin works at Sephora, and she's actually in the, and this is a true story, is actually in the influencer marketing department. It was like all the stars aligned, and they actually like to get their new lines of stuff and send them out there. They don't even know about the Amazon influencer program. They just want a short little video to use for user-generated content. Now you have a product that has a 4% commission in luxury beauty, and you're at the head of the line, right? That's leveraging a relationship. You get it. The other way you get them to say yes is quality of video. This also is a high bar. Like if you're getting the yeses based on quality of video, your video skills are flipping amazing, right? You're shooting some avatar-like stuff. You have a lot of equipment. This is an accidental thing. This isn't your iPhone thing, even though I've seen some creative stuff with iPhone, but you have an art for videography. Most of us don't have that, right? Especially my business partner in the back, Andres, who thinks he does and is convinced that like a red or Blackmagic camera is just as good as his iPhone 9, right? And I had to hear it the entire way from Miami on why it was, and straight-faced, he believes that. So, but there's more to it. It's the storytelling. It's the equipment that you use. Most of us don't have that. That's again out of your control. But the assets are something you can control. I made a list here of some: garage, Jeep, garden, pool, kids. You're young, you're old, the bar, your network. What are your hobbies, etc. Don't limit yourself. Those are the ways you get it. All right. So now, what I recommend doing, and I'm putting something together that I can share with everybody who got the course I created a while back on this, but you could try to create this on your own. It's a landing page. Create a landing page of you as an influencer and list all your assets that you have. And if you have some assets that don't make sense at all, like say you have carpenter ants, but you also have an amazing pool and an amazing backyard, those don't go on the same page, right? Like pool in the backyard, yes. Maybe separate landing page for your carpenter ant situation. Maybe that just flies with a picture, you know? But you can have multiple landing pages though. Like take the time to set these up. Again, this is a $15, $25 gig on Fiverr. That's it. Like just get these things created. Don't spend too much time on whether it's Shopify and your hosting and your all that other garbage. Just set up some links. And when you're pitching these people now, start pitching and sharing the link. Here's what I'm doing. I noticed this backward, but I'm sharing you how you could do it, maybe knowing what I know now, and how you could be proactive with this or intentional with this, is a lot of these brands that were reaching out to us were saying, we want you to review our sink. I was like, I'm not taking my sink off the wall. Like I could barely use a plunger. I'm not taking my sink off the wall and installing this sink onto the wall. to review your product. And I'm definitely not doing it for $50, right? But then they were willing to pay more, and they were willing to not have us mount it. And we could do like an unboxing. Remember, don't get too complicated. If someone sends you a product and it's a mattress, or it's a dresser set, get it. Don't build it and hope for a commission. Like, you don't need, let the brand show the demo of how this thing's built. Like, you can show the unboxing, how it was received, how much space it takes, where you're gonna put it. That's enough. But, I'm losing my train of thought. I got creative with my explanation there, and then I just blanked. What was I saying? Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Don't build it. So we did these unboxing, but now we have these stack of sinks, and you list a sink, or a shower set, or a faucet. You list any of these things on Facebook Marketplace and offer up 50% off. Mind you, your cost of goods is what?
0.
Right. 50% off. You list these things on Facebook Marketplace or offer up, and they fly. Like, you're getting messages in minutes. So this one guy comes in to buy one, and he goes, "Do you have any more?" And I'm like, "How many sinks do you have?" And he goes, "No, we install these." And I'm like, "You're a handyman." And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "How many of these do you want?" And he's like, "How many you got?" Bought a huge stack of them, and I was like, "Wait a minute. I got a list of people." Like, I love working with virtual assistants and teams and stuff like that. What I call domestic virtual assistants is TaskRabbit, Instacart, like all these little services that you can use. And I was like, I got a whole bunch of people on TaskRabbit that I call for, like, I need a door hung. Do you hang doors? I need a door put on. I need something hung. I need something fixed. I need plumbers, all this different stuff. And I reached out and I was just like, "Hey, look, can we work a deal here? I'll provide you, I'll rapidly boost your profit margin on these products. Can you take a quick video with your phone? I don't care about the angle. Can you take a quick video with your phone when you install some of these things? And as a matter of fact, can you start taking a video every time you install stuff? I really don't care what you're installing. Quick video, and in exchange, I'll give you these products at 50% off." And if he haggled with 60%, what is my cost? Right? So this is working, flipping amazing. Then I had somebody come in and bought a dollhouse. I believe we got so many dolls. I have to hide them from my daughter. We bought a dollhouse. They asked me if I had more. I'm thinking, how much space you got in your house? These things are huge, right? He goes, "No, we got a bunch of family in Latin America, and they need to send them to their family." I'm like, oh my God. In Miami, at least, there's no shortage of Latin American community, and they all want to send stuff. Some of these countries are not doing so hot, and they want to send these things to the other country. And I'm like, wait a minute, you want more than what I have? So then I just started thinking, anytime I come across someone and there's someone here, I'm helping them. I'm helping myself, yes. But I feel good about this situation. Everyone's winning. My cost of goods are 0. It's 100% profit. So I've built up this network of handymen, of plumbers. I don't know if handymen are plumbers. Of plumbers, of electricians, of like Good Samaritans, of people. They're making money shipping bulk types. They don't care about the name brand. They want a dollhouse within this price range. I've built up this network of stuff, and I'm like, no problem. Now I reach out to brands. And I don't reach out to the Fisher Prices of the world. I mean, we're going to build up to that. But I'm reaching out to these bigger brands, and I'm letting them know, like, hey, I can review anything now. I can review your sinks. I can do anything you absolutely need. As a matter of fact, you want me to review that P-trap? Your pool motor? There's no shortage. I don't know about Tampa, but there's no shortage of people that service pools, right? And competition means what? Not very good profit margins. Well, I can really boost your profit margins with some products that you're now paying, half off on. So I've built up this network of stuff, and it's working fantastic. So the ability to resell in bulk has gone up high. I now know what type of brands to reach out to for reviewing stuff with the influencer program. I call that brand direct. Those are brand deals for me, and that's the big difference between Creator Connect. Creator Connect, you're kind of listing it, you're seeing it, you can get it. Understand though that commission alone, cool, But commission alone on a lot of those products that are in Creator Connect is a lot of work for very little money, right? Very few exceptions. You do have some resale value in the product, which is proven, but you don't need the brand to be on Creator Connect for you to reach out to them. I finally reached out yesterday to a few stores, and these are stores, I don't know if there's a district in Tampa that's more of like furniture showroom type of places, but I reached out to some in the Doral area, if you're familiar with it, the Doral area of Miami, or the Doral area of Doral, it's not Miami, but South Florida, and already have some responses that they're willing to ship the furniture, they're willing to let me review the furniture. Some of the furniture I can keep in exchange for some of these reviews. Obviously, really big resale value. That's what I'm doing with brand deals. Any questions so far on that? And I'm hoping so, because I was imagining a lot more questions, and you guys are just looking at me and nodding. in all the. Is that me? Is that your thing saying?
I just said, what time is that?
Check to see if the speaker's boring at this stage. All right. All right. Let's see. See what else I can add that I've been doing here. Yeah, that makes sense to everybody? Who here sees? Yeah.
When you say reaching out, are you going on Amazon and saying contact seller, or are you going
Google.
to the brand page?
I'm going to Google and contacting them on the website. They have an email. I reach out to them. You know what it almost feels like? It almost feels like when another lifetime ago, when Amazon wholesale was a more meaningful part of my business. You contacted brands. You pitched yourself as like, you're trying to say, I'm not some socially awkward introvert in my mom's basement that just wants to piggyback on your products. I'm actually this amazing small business in X city. Please sell me your products. And they send you a price list. It almost feels a little bit like that. But instead, you're reaching out to them. And what I do is I let them know, hey, again, this is what we're about. This is why you should work with us. I'm trying to go around kids' products mostly, even though they have a smaller commission. Again, a lot of people avoid some of these products because the commission alone is 1.5%. But the resale value on these things is fantastic. And they also sell faster than a lot of the other stuff, the other toys. So I'm not worried about that. And, here's our network. Here's a list of the brands. Every time you work with one, here's a list of the brands that we work with. We need you to send us the product. And if you need us to send it back, here's a return shipping label. Because I was just testing that. Not a single person has ever sent me a return shipping label, but I want to put that out there to kind of I find like it gets past their guard, like this doesn't have to cost, there's no risk here. I'm willing to have it sent back. You're sending me the shipping label. And most of them answer. Yeah. You could also walk into a store, like a mom and pop store, Don't walk into Walmart. The cashier's not going to be able to green light you to walk out of the store with stuff. Does that help? Yeah. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay. We'll pick on a few of you then. Who here is not yet, or no, who here is in the Amazon Influencer Program? Let's do that first. Okay. And, you guys are in. Monetized too?
I mean, a couple hundred.
No, but you approved for monetization, not just approved for the program.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but a couple $100 per month?
We just started in late June,
So July, August, 2 months. So you're about to get your first payout, or you just got your first payout.
we're past the end of,
Okay.
looking for the email about Creator Connect, and I just found something different. A brand has handpicked you to participate
Are you in Levanta?
in their highly anticipated sponsored campaign.
That sounds like Creator Connect. But that sounds like Levanta or Join Brands.
I think if you are bronze, everybody was going to get the creator connection, but you still have to get the 100 clicks and the sale.
And what about somebody said 90 days?
But if you're, I'm silver. which
You're silver, then you have it.
Oh, you still have to get the 100 clicks in the last.
I didn't know that.
100 clicks in the last month and something else. I follow, and I should suggest whoever follow Amazon influencer in Instagram.
Instagram.
They're always sharing these tips. And if they just said that it was 100 clicks and a sale of I don't remember how much.
Okay. Speaking of which, on that, if I think when you first start, one of the things is, well, I don't have stuff to review, and then you, at some point you get past that and you realize how much junk you have around your house, things you have around your house, and you review them. But at some point, if you stick with this, you're going to exhaust it. I'm having, great success with Levanta. So much so that I'm trying to get with them and like set up some kind of sponsorship with them in the group. But Levanta has two sides to it. I think it's Levanta, Levanta.io. If someone could like check that for me. But Levanta.io. And there's two sides to it. One of them is to go in like with your brand to connect with influencers. And the other one is to go in as a creator. So they handle both sides of it. There's other companies that do this. So there's Join Brands is one that I love, created by the guys in MDS. I'm a power user of Join Brands. If you're an Amazon influencer, I do recommend creating an account in Join Brands and going through all their verifications of social media. Very easy way to make 50 to 100 bucks. .io, Levanta.io, thank you. Very easy way on Join Brands to make $50 to $100 a video, just flat out, whether it's going to go in the Amazon influencer program or not, and get the product for free. You see people's campaigns that they've started and you apply to them, and if you fit their avatar, and you do. Almost none of them on the Join Brands thing are looking for high quality video. They're more looking for like, if they have an athletic product, don't look like me. You know what I mean? Like look more like you, athletic. You know what I mean? Or somebody that looks athletic. Oh, this guy. If they have a hair product, you're not like Fernando in the back, bald, right? Yeah, right. Curling iron, not the guy, right? So like you,
The shampoo.
huh?
The Rock has the shampoo released.
Does he have a
Yeah,
shampoo?
He does.
That is insane.
It is insane.
Speaking of like,
My wife would have put me. I'm like, seriously?
speaking of shocking stuff, we're trying to compile. A few of us are compiling a list of what's the woman's name who founded Fluencer Fruit? Liz Saunders mentioned something in a presentation in Miami, which was it was like this manly man with a bald head, and he was the top reviewer spot on like these lactation pads, right? But he was the top. There was 5 there. He was the top one. He was obviously crushing everybody on this, and I was just like, I can't imagine my wife converting after watching this video. Nobody is. I think it's fair to say that. Like, and I hope I'm not like treading on any dangerous ground here. But like, I love everybody, you know. But like, remember, your video doesn't need to convert them to buy the product. You just happen to need to be the last video they saw before they bought the product. So somebody that was that deep into buying these lactation pads or spandex, whatever, they saw this, they were probably like, what the heck is this guy doing? They clicked on it. It was either funny or not. They either loved him or they hated him, but then they bought the product they were going to buy anyway. Unbeknownst to them, this guy's banking on these products. So we started trying to compile, like you just mentioned The Rock with shampoo, and The Rock's bald. But like, we're trying to compile a list of, look at this, that's insane. That is insane. The irony, right? But like,
Papa Tui is the name.
Papa Tui.
Papa Tui.
Gosh. So I'm wondering if it's like, if you, we're trying to compile stuff where somebody does something shocking that works. Again, last bit on this, there's a TikTok influencer course. So same thing we're doing here, but on TikTok. We've not been able to figure it out. I'm going to put that out there. The people who have, their screenshots show that like they make this program just look boring. Like they're putting up $40,000 campaigns. Like that they're making. Not been able to crack it. But in the course that we took, the guy, obnoxious guy, he talks about that. Say something wrong or do something weird in the video, like have a Q-tip and have it in your nose instead of a Q-tip, like, you know what I mean? Like, so my wife has occasionally done this, and I didn't know about it, but there's this air-conditioned hose that goes into this base, and I saw a picture on my desktop, and her going like this, and I'm like, she didn't think this was a CPAP machine, did she? Like, this is insane. And I actually clicked to remove it for her, so my wife, like, protect my wife so she's not embarrassed. And then she told me on purpose that's what she did, and she showed me some other videos that she did that on. Go figure, when you look at the metrics, these things just have some of the best conversions on them. So when you're doing the thumbnail for some of these Amazon influencer products, I think you should consider doing something that gets the click, you know? The other thing we notice on the metrics, which I think this is a cool aside for you guys to know, is there's been this, and I don't disagree with it, but there's been this kind of accepted best practice that if you are reviewing this product, thumbnails are better than no thumbnails. That's not debatable, but, and we don't use thumbnails, but it's better to have, and I think my friend Tom's a big proponent of this, and it's like you have the product, the thumbnail is the product front and center. This is the hero of the video. You're kind of in the background, and that's what you do. But since my wife and I weren't treating this like a full-blown business, we weren't putting up thumbnails, right? And we're pretty transparent. I'm recommending you do because I know they work. We're doing it because we're being lazy. But since we do have close to 600 videos of no thumbnails, it was kind of like, well, if you don't use a thumbnail, what converts better? Let's look at the data. And we looked, and there's several products where the entire product is what's in frame. Nothing else is. Those, nothing else touched them. So I told some people that do put thumbnails, and I'm like, hey, I know you're doing this method right here. Can you just put just the product instead of you behind the product? And they have, and the conversion has been significantly better. So you might want to consider testing both. It looks like product alone is much better than product behind. And me getting into YouTube and stuff and studying thumbnails and like the hierarchy in the photo of the thumbnail, a lot of like electronic products, these people that make money reviewing tech, if you think about it, they're not, with the exception of MKBHD, they're not in the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the product. And I think they're onto something there because these things convert better. The only other things that had really high conversions for us is if a puppy, go figure, we had access to a puppy. So if the puppy was in the thumbnail, it got more hearts and views than anything else. A few of them was, you know, my wife and daughter in like a hugging pose with a product, and you know that melts your heart. But that got a lot of hearts and got a lot of views, and it also translated into a lot more in commissions for those products. So if you have access to do something like that, but you're thinking it doesn't matter, it does. Consider working that in. Let's see. So Levanta we talked about. Join brands again. Can't emphasize that enough. If you wanted to create a Fiverr profile, and we're using ours as kind of like a bait and switch. Again, here's our Fiverr profile with 120 bucks. But we're going to work with you for $50 direct. There's some people that are just doing Fiverr and doing pretty well with it. Getting free products, getting paid to review the products, and the more that happens on the platform, the more you move up in the algorithm and the more exposure you get. So it's another stream of getting free products and getting commissions on them, and remember, reselling the product. So I'd consider setting it up if you have the time and you know that makes sense to you. Another little variation on this, I think I actually heard this one first from Tom as well. These listings that are not unlocked for videos. So remember, you're looking at a listing, you're like, man, I'd love to review this thing, but it doesn't have a brand video on it, which means it's not unlocked. And as an Amazon influencer, my video can't go on this product. You could reach out to them and say, I'll add that brand video for you. And there's a company I've worked with forever. They used to be called Slide.ly. Now they're called Promo.com. And you can go on there and for a couple bucks, like amazing, like gorgeous images, and you could add text into them and grab some great video that a brand would love having. And to be able to unlock it and get your Amazon influencer video up there is a no-brainer to do as well. All right. That's what I had, like the meat and potatoes of it to share it today. I assumed wrong that there'd be a ton of questions on this. Let me touch I mentioned something else too, though, from the private label side of things. The Amazon influencer program. Let me touch on it from the brand side. I now see it as it's just part of my launch sequence, if you will, anymore. I don't have data to say that the Amazon influencer program, the Amazon influencer videos that I make sure are on my listings during launch, because I'll have a brand video and it'll be unlocked, are making X amount of sales. Like, I don't get access to that kind of data. But I believe the presence of those videos on the listing makes the listing seem more complete, makes it seem like a safer listing that other people are using, and I understand that that definitely helps with conversions. So it's one of the reasons why it's now a mandatory thing. Like, I'm gonna go out there and get like 10 influencer videos done. Second reason is there's a growing trend, and if you've noticed, a dip in sales, and the dip in sales is about 2% of your sales, and you're wondering, like, I've done everything. You're wondering what it is. I'm seeing a growing amount. These brands, go figure, these Chinese brands, again, I love Chinese people, but they reach out to you and they ask you to review a product, and they're willing to pay you $50 to $75 for it. They don't always ask for a positive review. So there are a lot of people that for $50 to $75 will also gladly leave a negative review. So what happens here is you don't, as a brand, think to defend against Amazon influencer videos. There's not a great deal of defense, nor do you probably watch them. But some of these videos are actually speaking quite bad about your brand. And if roughly 2%, and on more complicated products, a higher percentage are watching these videos, you're losing sales. And what some of these Chinese brands are doing is they're getting people to leave reviews and kind of creating a moat around their competitors of some of this negative stuff. One of the tactics they use now, which if I was to create this video in the Amazon influencer program, I don't think it would get approved. So I'm not sure how they're doing it, is in my last exit, I did a lot of Amazon live video, right? And when doing Amazon live video, again, this is one of those tactics I'm not exactly proud of, but just full transparency. One of the things we would do in the live video is when you're going live, when you're doing an Amazon live video as an Amazon influencer, which, by the way, if you're in the Amazon influencer program, you're also allowed to do an Amazon live video. Fantastic way to make commissions on products if you could get past the fear of going live. You're able to do that immediately, by the way. If you're in the program and if you're monetized, you make great money. But I would use this as a way to grow sales in the Amazon influencer program with Amazon live video. So one of the things I would do, if you're going live as an Amazon private label brand with brand registry, you can only review your product and your brand. If you go live as an Amazon influencer in the Amazon influencer program, though, you can review anybody's product in the Amazon live video, and you can bring it up in a carousel. So I would bring up my competitors' products. I would not openly ever talk bad about my competitors' products. However, I could say things like they say this is my product and they're almost similar. The thing that I like most about this one, and the reason why I bought this one, is for the 50% off coupon that they have, code on screen. And then I move on. So have you ever got a coupon code for a product online, went to use it, and it didn't work? Did you buy the product afterwards? Most people don't.
No.
They get very frustrated that you tried to get me and they move on. They wind up buying the other product that the person would have bought, the super trustworthy person that tried to help you, which just so happens to be your product. So they're doing a lot of and these work, I'm telling you, these things work, but a lot of this sort of thing is happening in the Amazon influencer videos. So if you have a brand, you need to police the videos that are there. One of the best ways to police that right now is to get them full proactively with other Amazon influencers. Fortunately for you, in this group, free of charge, you just reach out to me. I'll connect you with people that you don't have to pay to get these reviews done, and you're going to give up your product. You're going to give up, a sample of the product, and maybe they're reselling it on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know. Maybe they'll send it back. Maybe they just want to get the commissions. But I don't have a marketplace set up to do this. That's why I'm saying proactively reach out to me. I'll connect you to the people that are going to do you right. They're going to kind of create the video. There's no charge on this, but just defend your product. All right. Start thinking of the Amazon, even if you don't want to make commissions on it, start thinking of it as part of your Amazon product detail page, and it's some real estate that you need to defend. All right, make sense? Cool. All right, I'm going to pick on more people. We got a little more time. How you doing? Yep.
I have a question.
Sure.
So, suppose you have 5 products and you want Bob and Jill as influencers to review all 5. Wouldn't Amazon catch on and not allow them to post reviews for 5 products, knowing it's a inside game?
With product reviews, it's not, if just Jill bought 5 of your products and reviewed them, it's not unheard of, I mean, depending on the types of products, but assuming they're all extreme tenting gear.
Sure.
It's the shovel, the pick, I don't know much about this, the tent. It's not unheard of that someone would buy complementary products of the same brand. So if Jill reviews them, great. But Bob, you said, also lives in that house and also bought those same 5 products. This is where the issue's coming in. If it's a product review,
I meant those influencer videos.
there's none.
Slots.
No, there's none.
Oh,
Now they would need different Amazon influencer accounts.
oh.
If they had the same Amazon influencer account, though, remember, you can create more than one video. So if your listing was unlocked for, you have the shirt that says fiberglass. I have no idea if your brand is fiberglass on Amazon, but so Zolco fiberglass, right? So you sell Zolco fiberglass. And your listing is unlocked for videos. I could do 5 videos of each of your products. I could do an unboxing video. I could do an assembly video. I could come up, we could come up with some few different things. I could do 5, no problem. I could also come back, hurricane such and such, tropical storm such and such passed. Here's how this thing stood up. Tons can be done. So they could do a bunch of videos within the same account, but it would be one Amazon influencer account.
And then for your own listings, do you actually do that?
Can't do it for your own products.
But do you have your?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Just like I don't scale my brands with family and friend reviews, but I don't know a brand in existence that doesn't have their network of people like, hey, I got to get my first 5 reviews out here somehow. I need to make this out. So yeah, I think there's a difference between the people that say I'm going to do this to get 1,000 reviews on my crap product and a legit brand that's just trying to get their first 5 reviews of social proof. That's my personal opinion. So, but yeah, on the Amazon Influencer Program, we have a Telegram chat, by the way, free. If you go to wizardsofecom.com/chat, you join our Telegram chat, just say, add me to the Amazon Influencer Program. Even if you don't want to make commissions as an Amazon influencer, you'll be able to see other Amazon influencers in there, and to not turn this into this review swap flea market vibe. All I ask is that if you see somebody in there and you like what they're saying, if you wanted to join, just ping me, just DM me and say, hey man, so and so, I really like what they're saying, and I saw the videos that they're posting. Good dude, you know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, guy's great. I'll make an introduction, or go ahead. It's not that I have a control issue that I want to police everything, but it could quickly turn into this nasty flea market review swap, and that's just not the vibe we want to get. But yeah, huge network of people you could tap into for that.
Okay. And then, how do you unlock a listing?
Just add a brand video.
So you're uploading in your own listing, you're uploading a video.
Right, so your listing, I'm assuming you have brand registry. So when you have brand registry, you can add a video on your listing. So it's probably going to be a very branded video.
And that unlocks for these influencers.
At that point, Amazon influencers can review your product and add them without any permission from you, and in most cases without any quality control from you because you're thinking of other things.
Yes, I guess like it's actually strategic, like you said, to have fill up all the slots.
Yep.
That way you get to pick what the consumer is seeing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and you get to see it. I want to get to a spot where I can get every age, shape, color, size reviewing my product, so I can see every freaking look of it. One of the extra pluses of this, if you're working with an Amazon influencer, by the way, an Amazon influencer is just someone that wants to make money on commissions. It's not like, don't get intimidated by the word influencer. But these videos you can put together as a montage and turn it into a product review, a sponsored brand video of your own on Amazon, and those convert fantastic. You can list it as a vertical video, standalone vertical video as an Amazon post. You can then use that vertical video as a sponsored brand vertical video. So there's a lot of mileage you can get out of this. One of the cool things you can do with Amazon influencer videos right now, those vertical videos, is post them as Amazon posts and then look at the metrics. The ones that take off and look like these are just getting a ton of eyeballs. Go in there and create a sponsored brand video ad. And for creative, you can now select a post and obviously select the one that has a lot of mileage. Those are doing fantastic. I've never seen a sponsored brand vertical video in my shopping experience, so it just blows me away that they're converting so well. I don't know who they're converting with. Has anybody here seen a vertical video in Amazon search? No, right? Yeah, it's weird, but it's converting really well. Yeah.
I have a few questions.
Love it.
One, if you're trying to get your product, let's say you upload a video that's got 2 videos already, you want your video to get, maybe slot 1 or whatnot. Quality video, of course, but is there any other tactics to try to getting more traffic to that video so that you get a higher spot?
Yes, and you're talking about as a creator that wants to make more commissions. Yes. So one of them I just recently did. I forget who first came up with this one, but I think my main Amazon. So if I could just pull it up and show you, because this might look confusing. But let me go. So you're as an Amazon influencer, you get a name. So one of ours is Giselle and Carlos, right? Notice the emojis on either side of this name. Looks stupid, right? But let me I know you're so far away, but I'm trying to like give some people a visual. Let me. Okay, let me. And we could pass this around, but let me. Amazon. Now, when you go to Amazon, I'm just going to look for my delicious cod liver oil. And let's see, it's got a video. Wow. He doesn't mind. I just randomly picked this cod liver oil, and I see my friend Tom's actually got a review on this. But you know what? That makes a ton of sense, because I think he's the one that introduced me to this freaking oil. What a small world. But this is actually perfect. And if anybody wanted to come up here and check it out, just feel free to walk up. I don't have it connected to the screen. But you'll see that these, and this is going to answer your question, but you're going to see that there's 3 influencer videos. I got to tell my wife to review this because we have it and it's not on CR video. But there's 3 videos. Only his has the two emojis, your eyes just go to that. Like you don't look at anything else. That's getting the click. I've not tested that on like PickFu, but I guarantee you that's winning the click. So adding those emojis on either side just dramatically increases your clicks. So that's one.
That's in the title when you.
That's in your,
And your name.
yeah, that's, you can see,
We can change it if we don't have the emoji now. We can add it.
oh yeah, you just go to edit profile and you add them in right here. Just add in those emojis.
What emoji are you using? Like
I'm using the stars,
Okay.
and the only reason I picked these stars, the only reason I picked these stars is because a few other people in the group, I think Carmen, Tom, and a few others had stars, and I didn't want their exact star, right? So I just picked them, and you just go to edit profile, and then right here, and then you right click, and you just add emoji.
In the edit profile.
Yeah. Edit profile, and then you add these emojis. Sorry, I didn't have it connected to the screen. You see? You just go to edit profile, and then you just right click in here, and then select add emoji. Yeah, so that's one way. The second way is a thumbnail. Like using this one as an example, I get to pick on Tom here. He actually did not do a I bet you this was one of his earlier videos, I'm gonna guess. But he did not do the typical holding the product thumbnail. On this one, everyone seems to be holding it the same way, which is a random clip that Amazon picks somewhere in the video. Take the time and leave a thumbnail. And by that I mean not a creative graphic that you think looks cool and that is your brand. Just have that stands out. The other way is going to be, so those work. The next two, I don't have solid data to back up because Amazon doesn't share it, but I have some pretty solid arguments as to why they do work. So the other one is thumbs ups, helpfuls. So this particular video has 20 thumbs ups, happens to be the top video in the Amazon influencer slot. So the more that are found helpful with the thumbs up, the more prominent those are going to place. This next one is the one I can't prove, but it's just a matter of time, and you'll nod your head yes when I say this. The more a video is clicked on and then converted on with a sale, Amazon moves you up in the algorithm. Like that's in Amazon's DNA. So if there's 5 videos there, and every time one of them's watched, it converts more than all the other ones, it's going to the top. I've looked at a lot of products and I've seen, just so happens to be the one with the emojis are mostly at the top, or if it's not, the one with the most thumbs up happens to be at the top. I don't think people went in there and gamed the thumbs up and the hearts. So I have to believe this video has either been around longer, it's converting more, and therefore that's why it's at the top. Those are the ways that I know. The only other guess I have, and this might be like swatting a gnat with a hammer, is Amazon loves when you do Amazon live videos. So I've seen the people that do Amazon live videos, I've noticed that their product reviews on the Amazon influencer side seem to come up very high all the time, even though it looks like they got lazy with their thumbnails and everywhere else. So I think Amazon is giving them a lot more like preferential treatment. Yeah, that's it right now. You don't have a lot of tools, but that's it. And get in first.
So I got a follow-up question. So if, let's say you were an actual kind of an influencer and you were probably doing Amazon affiliate or, you know, a lot of people, before Amazon influencer, there's Amazon Vine, which still, of course, is there.
Yeah, I'm a Vine reviewer.
Yeah, so, well, I guess so. Are you going back through all the things you reviewed in Vine and now making Amazon influencer videos?
So,
Or vice versa?
so I'm gonna go, if I've shared products, you're not really reviewing products as an Amazon associate, but like say you have a blog or you did a video and you're reviewing it and you've connected that source to your associates program and you've reviewed it, yeah, 100%, I would review it again as an Amazon influencer product with shoppable video. That's fine.
Like link to your shoppable video? Or would you, how would you
Well,
want
your shoppable, it's on-site commissions.
to? Right.
So if you link off the site with a link, those are off-site commissions. So for you to get the Amazon on-site commissions, you need to have driven them to Amazon while they were on Amazon, and then they saw your video and shopped on it. So you're not really placing that off. That's an off-site commission.
Okay.
The other part of that you mentioned about the Vine program, are you a Vine reviewer?
I'm not, but I'm wondering if I should be leaving a lot more reviews to eventually become eligible to be a fan.
Right. So I've been a Vine reviewer for over 10 years and tried my dangest to get a second Vine reviewer account. It's like close to impossible to get an account. And it's very, very difficult to be clear on what metrics they're looking for, except they want to see you review and they want you want to have a ratio of reviews that get more sales. So like people have found your review more helpful than others, and there's some weird ratio there. I can tell you though, I finally got my second Vine reviewer account over a decade later, and and how it works is I log in. I mean, I could show you my Vine account, but like I log in. On each account, I get to select for free 8 products a day, and I need to stay reviewing them. I have to pay taxes on those products and the sales tax value of the product that I got for free. Almost all of those products that are on there don't have a brand video at that stage.
Oh, okay.
So they're not unlocked. The other thing is the majority of people that use Vine by far, and I can show you by opening up my Vine account and showing you, almost all of them are Chinese brands. So you're looking at like 97%, right? So the majority of them are Chinese brands that don't have sponsored brand videos, maybe never will, and also probably do not know how to rank rank products very good. So even if it had a brand video, if it's 2% of people that buy the product per month actually review your product, for a listing that's not selling anything, you really don't make anything in commission. So it doesn't work. And on the resale side, you can't resell a product that you got from Vine until 6 months after, or you get kicked out of the program.
Do you get to pick a category where you review wines, or you can search for product?
I can.
I'm just trying to figure out how it works from the other side, because we wine our products.
Yeah, I'll show you. I mean, you're willing to look at it, anybody who wants. So for example, this particular year, my next evaluation period, I'm a gold level Vine reviewer. Next review is January 31st. This year we've gotten a little over $36,000 worth of Vine products to review. And we go to Vine items.
So you could search for all.
Yeah, I can search. So these are available for all. Additional items recommended for you, but when you go to additional items, these are all available. I could search.
You could search by brand.
And then I can also go by category. Yeah.
So you
but
should go by category and just figure out what's
we have, I like, the majority of the Vine products we get right now is if I know you and you're like, I got a family member coming over, a hurricane hit, I'll try to like
Get something for them.
help you out with all the stuff you need because I can get it for free, and or like I don't buy birthday presents anymore. Yeah, and I don't buy birthday presents anymore. If we need props for our YouTube videos, or just like I have like 100 widgets in my shower. You always look at something and you're like, that'd be so cool to have, but I would never pay for it. But now you have it. So I got like a floating soap dispenser. I got glowing soap just the weirdest, coolest stuff. You know, I have like swap out 6 different toilet seat covers, and like it's fun. So like, it's mostly junk, but occasionally we can get like a Weber grill, or like something a lot more higher end. Yeah, and sometimes like you might have something on Vine, and you're like, get my stuff, Carlos, like review my stuff.
We got stuff online.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know. I'd be happy to go in there and do it, you know? But sometimes your stuff won't show up. Like like other Vine members quickly opted in to get it, but they haven't completed it yet, so it won't show up on my end. So it's not 100%. No, I'd be happy to. That's what I have. Any questions? Yeah.
I was just curious, when y'all do your videos of your product, do you upload it straight from your phone or do you go through the computer?
We use so the question, I meant to be repeating these questions from the stream, so I hope they're not like all being voyeurs, not only hearing half of this, but we use a computer. What we just found out recently, though, like I learned this from other group members in the chat, is rarely, but sometimes you record a video, or you do a video review, and you go to upload it in the Amazon Influencer program, and it's not finding the product for you to tag. And if you're doing it on desktop, you can get stuck and maybe not find it. But I learned, and I hope I get this right, if you know that I'm saying, you know what I'm getting at, right?
Exactly, I just had that problem also.
So if you go on mobile and you do it through your phone, the workaround here is, you know it?
No, she showed me because she uploads from her phone.
Oh, so you know the hack.
My computer.
Well, that's the
Okay.
way I know how to do it.
Right. Yeah, so what happens is if you ever go, most of you I'm sure on the Amazon Influencer program do it through your computer, but if you ever get stuck and you can't find the product to tag, but you're like, I see it on Amazon, like what's going on? Go on mobile, search for the product, regular on Marketplace, find it, add it to a list that you have as a shopping list, then go into the Creator Hub like you would upload your videos on mobile, and on mobile, it gives you an option when you're going to tag a product to search by your browsing history or your lists. And then you go right in there and you get the product. So I learned that from, I think it was Mariteri in the group. If you've not met her, she's flipping amazing. I'll introduce you if you go down to Miami. But I think it was Mariteri that discovered that and shared it with me, I think. So, yeah. If you ever get stuck,
When
that's...
you do it on your phone, then you have to, because it just creates my own thumbnail, whatever it gives.
It doesn't give you an option to upload a thumbnail on mobile?
I think it does. You have to click like in here, it says click. But my question for that is, I mean, obviously in your computer you can save the file size perfectly. But here, where would you save the thumbnail if it's not like the regular photo?
I wouldn't do it on mobile. Like I looked at it and I found it to be extraordinarily clunky at scale. You couldn't. It doesn't seem friendly to scale. And I've gotten old, so I need my big screen and big letters and like everything. So like I need my workstation, and I do it there. And by I mean 2% of all the videos we do is done by me, and my wife's doing it. She's the same way, except the old. Like she's at the workstation. She's doing that. I think the only time we would use mobile is if we couldn't tag the product on the desktop. Yeah.
Sorry, more, sorry.
Yeah, please, yeah.
So you were saying like you can upload multiple videos to the same product.
Yep.
So like I've recorded videos where I unbox it and then use it. Should I be doing an unboxing and then separately one for using it? Upload both, or just upload it together? And I don't know. My other question is, if it doesn't work, at what point do you potentially delete and re-upload?
Both of those are phenomenal questions. So the first, let's do them in order. So the first one would be, what was it?
Like
Unbox. Oh yeah. If you have videos where you're unboxing it and then you're using it, right? I would do what works for you. Like do what feels natural about this thing. If the unboxing is cracking the bag open, that's not enough for a video. But if the unboxing is, this is like an 8-piece set, and each one of these pieces is like a story in itself type of thing, I think you can get away with an unboxing. I won't say the product because I don't know if you share it, but he has this amazing clothes hanger that my wife loves. And it's very simple though. And the packaging it comes in is very simple. Like that's not enough for an unboxing for me. So for that, I would show how it comes, I would open it, but then I would also show how it could hang, like all these different things. So in that sense, I feel like that should be together. Yeah, so it depends.
Okay.
But maybe you do it all together and then you do another one, which is showing it in another use case. or like ping pong table, you received it, here's the unboxing and here's all the pieces. There could be a different one showing it in use. That would be fun. And you know, a month or two later, you do it, and we've officially clocked 357. Obviously, a random number, so it's believable, right? 357 games on this ping pong table. And we're very happy with it. It's just as sturdy, no scratches. So now this is kind of like a after the fact, you know, how this thing's holding up. Those all can be standalone videos.
And then, like, if you've uploaded a video, and let's say after a period of time you're not seeing it get a lot of views, do you delete them, re-upload them?
When do you delete and re-upload?
Or do you change
I-
the title? What do you do?
I don't have a. I don't like giving like weak answers to stuff.
Sure.
I don't have enough data to back up when that should happen, because we have some videos that have never gotten a view, or a sale, anything, and then we have other ones that for the majority of their life they didn't. Then all of a sudden they just started getting sales, and there's more competition, not less. I don't understand it. We have some stuff that we reviewed before we knew that it needed to have a brand video on there and be unlocked before we did it. We didn't know, but we reviewed it after the fact. Somebody decided, I guess, the brand was worthy of adding a brand video. They did, and now we're the only ones there, and we're getting sales.
I read in some Facebook groups that Amazon doesn't like you to delete. Says add another one. They don't like you to be
So
deleting.
leave it.
That's
just
for the
I
Facebook groups.
I feel like I would leave. I feel like I would leave it.
Okay.
And
And do a new one.
yeah, I wouldn't get the same video file
Sure.
and like upload it again with a different title, but yeah, just shoot it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
I still have a video. And it's right here. The brand does not have a brand video. It's one of the first 3 I did, and I didn't know the brand was supposed to have the video, and they don't, and they placed mine. So in theory, it should be unlocked, right?
So you have a product detail page that does not have a brand video, but your Amazon influencer video is showing.
Yeah.
I would say it's either, the only exceptions I've seen to this rule, and it's like unicorn status, is media products and some apparel. Does your product fall?
Shoes.
Or shoes?
But is your video in the top carousel, like after the pictures, or in the lower carousel?
There's no top pictures because the brand does not have a brand video. So it's on the bottom. And
I
it was,
see.
it was the only one for a while, and now I see I just checked tonight, and here's another one.
Exactly.
But
In my
for a
opinion,
long time,
if the
it was
brand
the
has a
only one.
video,
No, the
then-
brand doesn't have it.
no. If the brand has a video, then your video would go on the top carousel. If the brand does not have a video, then it goes on the lower carousel.
But you're not saying that if the brand doesn't have a video, it's not unlocked, and you won't be
In
placed?
my opinion, exactly. You can upload it to the majority of the things, but it won't go in the upper part of the listing. It will go in the lower part and get less views. That's why a lot of people don't like doing it, because people like to normally only see the pictures, and then they go to the brand video and then the influencer video. The other ones will be in the lower, and sometimes
The
Amazon
bottom here.
hidens, and they have to click videos to be able to see them.
Yeah, because if we were saying that they were locked, that's what I was wondering.
Well,
That's what I've seen.
what was the final one on that?
I think they're not locked. I mean, it's locked for the upper carousel.
Oh, but it's in the lower carousel.
Uh-huh.
Ah, yeah. Right. But the upper carousel,
It's always open?
There's no top, that's what I'm saying, there's no
right.
top.
The top is where the money's at.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got any sales on that?
Yeah.
Then good. Absolutely. In some media products too, like the brand on an audiobook or something, doesn't have a brand video on there, but there's some influencer slots that'll pop up. So,
Yeah, one more.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
So in the Creator Hub, there's like, you got your videos, but there's also, not in Creator Hub, your storefront. You got your videos, and then you've also got like idea lists.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do with those? What's the point? How do you leverage those?
I think we only have like one idea in our idea list, on our associates account, I use that a lot. Like, I'll have books that I read a lot of books, so I have like a collection of books that I'm like, anybody that comes to me that's thinking about getting a business partner or a business partner that's family or anything like that, and I've gotten burned so bad by this, here are the books I wish I read. Here's a quick link. I did my part, right? Here are the books that I have that I'm like around product selection. I wish somebody would have pulled me to the side and said, read these books. So it's a quick link to what's going on. My YouTube studio creation, like the videos, the mics, all that stuff, it's a way for me to put it all together because it never fails. Somebody's like, I want to do this. And getting your equipment is how I'm going to be successful. And rather than me hunt down all these different links in my buying history, I can just quick link to something. So you could do that in your Amazon influencer side, or you could do that on the associates, but I don't, there's a lot of different ways it can be used. That's how I'm using it. Yeah. But like, think of anything that you're asked about frequently, like, what do you recommend about this? Or what was that thing you got to set up your new shower? Think of them as like lists or collections that you can create and quick link out to other people.
Okay.
So they could just click, everything's bought as a bunch. Yeah? All right, everybody. We can stay around and network a little bit afterwards, but thank you so much. All right.